Hi, I'm Erika Nagae, Ben & Jerry's Climate Change College Ambassador for the UK. Food waste, it's a hot topic right now. Apparently in England and Wales alone we generate 3.6 million tonnes of food waste which goes to landfill. It becomes a climate change issue when it goes to landfill because this food waste festers, generates greenhouse gases which then go directly into the atmosphere. And this is no longer just an environmental issue, it's also an economic one too, because if you were to put a price tag onto this avoidable food waste, it would be between 9 and 10 billion pounds per year that we're literally throwing away. I've come up with a project called the Worminator Project, and I have a pilot case going on at the University of Manchester right now, where I've used some of the funding from my climate change college to kit out the students at self-catering halls with worm composting bins and weighing scales, just to get an idea of how much the average student generates in terms of compostable organic waste. And it's also just a really fun grassroots means of getting people aware of how fun and easy and effective composting with worms can be. I'm here at Fairfield Materials Management, a unique social enterprise here in Manchester that deals with all the organic waste generated here on New Smithfield Market.
Hi, my name is Erika. I'm working in Fairfield 1.5 years. Normal day is 10 tons and vegetables and same 10 tons and green waste and...
So every day 10 tons of green waste, 10 tons of vegetables equals 10 tons of compost.
Yes, this
Fantastic.
is true. Yeah.
Great. Fairfield is an amazing example of a commercial-sized operation of diverting organic food waste from landfill by turning it into compost. But the fact is, we can all do this from our own homes if you have a composting bin, or even better, a worm composting bin. I'm hoping I can show you an example of indigenous composting worms. Here we go. These aren't just any worms, they're composting worms, which are a bit different from earthworms in that they reside on the surface and chomp through organic matter. So it's ideal in a setting like this, or in your own kitchen to process your food waste.
So there's a couple of worms in here.
I'd like to get a worm bin in the kitchen though, because with a worm bin you can compost all year round, whereas this stops composting in the colder months. And that's why I think the Worminator is a really good idea, because it focuses on telling people about worm bins and making people recycle their own waste, which again diverts more food from landfill.
Every day here at Fairfield Materials Management, between 10 and 20 tonnes of fresh produce comes through to be turned into compost. A question I'm often asked is, what does food waste have to do with climate change? Well, when we throw our food waste into the bin, it generally ends up in landfill. And in landfill, all this food waste rots down and emits harmful greenhouse gases, namely methane, which is 25 times more potent than CO2. So basically, by throwing our food waste into the bin, we are directly contributing to man-made greenhouse gas emissions from landfill. And there's been a very recent survey done saying that the average Briton throws away a third of the food waste that they purchase from the supermarkets, of which 60% would have been edible. And this just shows just what a wasteful society we live in. But, you know, one thing we can do, if we are going to generate so much waste, is to at least try to recycle some of it. And that's why composting food waste, or vermicomposting food waste, is such a simple and logical solution.